What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. I'm Chris, he's Mike.
Yep.
And we are only a couple of days late this week. It's been a busy week. We had a busy Tuesday night. I'm just going to leave it at that. It was a busy Tuesday night that kind of went into Wednesday. So that's why the review is being recorded Friday, going up on Saturday morning. And as always, we like to do a little pre-review show for all of you. And this pre-review show, I'm going to drop more of a teaser than really news. News-wise, I will do two things real quick. Number one, there will be a new Oreo video. I'll probably be recording it actually tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes tomorrow, but I'll probably have a new one up Saturday. I'll be recording it tomorrow. I have to edit it, unless I edit it fast and it goes up Friday night. So Friday night, Saturday morning, you'll be seeing a new Oreo video from my channel, and then there's another video I'm working on. Now the teaser. I like to do things around or on my birth month or on my birthday. I am working on something behind the scenes right now. We are only, by the way, 11, as at the moment of this recording, we are only 11 subscribers away from 100 subscribers on my new channel. I have a name, finally, I came up with for my new channel. And as a matter of fact, when we hit that 100 subscriber mark, there will be a name drop for the channel. And that's going to be the teaser for what's coming next. So if you are interested in finding out what this big behind the scenes, or a hint behind what's going on behind the scenes, if you haven't subscribed to the new channel yet, go over, subscribe. Like I said, we're only 11 subscribers away. That's just 11 more clicks, 11 more subs before the first hint is dropped to what's coming next from me, and I'm very excited about it.
Yep.
It's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna. I'm working on a poster-esque thing right now, so it's gonna be great, and hopefully we'll be able to take a trip soon, do my first vlog soon, taking a trip over to Target or somewhere around. So keeping my fingers crossed about that. Tomorrow, Anthem. As you're watching this, it's probably Friday morning. Anthem's dropping. We won't be recording that because we have no clue what kind of crowd is going to be where we're going. We're not going to GameStop. We actually pre-ordered from Best Buy for the Steelbook. I might actually do a really quick Anthem opening video.
Yeah.
I might. We'll see. But anyway, now, what about you?
Yeah, so there are two things I want to just say. One thing that I actually found out today, and I don't know if you found out about it, we heard from the Nintendo news that Reggie is retiring.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, today he made a Twitter announcement that he will be retiring this year on April 15th. I mean, he's worked with Nintendo for 15 years as president of Nintendo of America and COO.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to be giving it to this person, sales and marketing, and his real name, seriously, is Doug Bowser. He's been working side to side. No, seriously, that's his name. But
Wow.
He was with the CND when they did that launch for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, like he was in the store with him, bald guy with sunglasses.
I think I remember.
Yeah, I have a picture of him. But yeah, he's going to be the new president as of after April 15th. So he did thank us for all those years, and he wants to spend time with his wife and his kids and friends, and I think that what he gave to us all these years, yeah, I mean, you know, that's actually really good. And
absolutely.
So I actually did a Facebook and a Twitter thing of the video where you could see it on there. Also, speaking of Nintendo, for my channel, this week I'm going to be doing something that's going to be for the next 8 days. And I'm going to be starting it on Saturday after I have something to do. Like, it'll be like late Saturday afternoon.
And it's going
all the way
till
through. No, until next Saturday. Because Saturday.
That's 7 days.
I said 8 days.
Right, so then it's Sunday.
It's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
How was that pop? Oh, because you don't go back to Saturday again, right?
Right.
You ended on Sunday.
So from that Saturday all the way till next Saturday will be something that I have not done on my channel before, and I hope that it actually does great for 8 consecutive days.
That's right. 7 days would be Saturday to Sunday, so Saturday to Saturday is 8 days. Yeah.
So day of
I'm just waking up, everyone. So pardon me. I'm
charging this.
I had a bit of a sleep before we started recording.
So yeah, so on Saturday, be sure to check out my Durock 18 channel because, like I said, you never know what you're gonna get when you go to my channel. That's my new shtick slogan. Well, it's been for like what, almost 12 years, and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we got teasers in, we got promos of what we're doing in. Let's talk comic books.
Yes.
When and how many?
So these comics came out on February 13, 2019, and ironically there are 13 comics. 13 on 13, look at that. And that was for, what?
No, that's cool.
Oh, I thought you said I'm like saying, what am I shushing about? It was like Broken Boys 13, remember 13 on 13, you know. So that's 13 on 13, look at that.
That's crazy.
And we're starting with your book.
All right, we're starting with the Independence. We are starting with, if you are a fan of this series, you're going to love it. Tom Clancy's The Division, Extremis, Malice, issue number 2 of 3. I already pre-ordered the hardcover of this series. I will be getting the trade, obviously. If you're a fan of Division, this is the story that bridges the gap between New York and Washington, D.C. And ironically, I believe issue 3...
This is the Division 2. Did this take place, right?
No, it takes place in between 1 and 2.
Oh,
this
so
is
it's
the
New
story
York
in between.
Oh, okay. So
going to D.C. And it follows a character who's chasing after a woman who killed his friend in issue 1 in New York, and he's following her to Washington, D.C. And I like how this book, we find out that there's more going on. Like, there's a faction they're trying to take over. And New York obviously was a fail. They lost New York, and at the end, towards the end of the book, she's like, what is the status on New York? And she's like, incomplete, because the Division won. We won New York back. So now they're going to D.C. and this woman who killed the main character's friend, this guy's looking for her and he wants revenge. But obviously he's not finding her. He's in Washington now and they're dealing with the issues in Washington. I think the next issue is going to end where either this girl is going to be introduced as a character in the game that we're going to have to deal with. I'm not sure because I try to keep myself as spoiler-free as possible with the game. So they might have already mentioned names of who's in the game, names of people we're going to be fighting against in the game. I don't want to know. So I didn't do research into if this character is going to be a CPU that we deal with in the game, or if the enemy is going to be an enemy we deal with in the game. I want to go into this game as spoiler-free as possible, even though I played the beta. It's not a spoiler, really, if I've played through the mission at least. Instead of watching it, I played through it. So I don't want to know anything other than what I know through the beta. And the open beta actually is next weekend.
Oh.
So there'll be another beta, so I'm looking forward to that. But if you're a fan of Division, you will be checking out this series. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to Division 2. The artwork in the book is great. The story is good as well. Definitely something, like I said, if you've been following the game, you're going to want to check out the book. And speaking of games and books, God of War issue 4 of 4, the grand finale to the God of War.
Really? I thought it was an ongoing series.
No. This is a precursor to the game.
Oh, okay.
Long story short, Kratos takes out the family, protects his family, and unfortunately, as the fortune teller said, there was a cost, and it was a fortune teller's life. So, and he warns Kratos about his anger, about dealing with his one true foe, which is himself. Now, if you've played the game already, we know what happens with Kratos. We know what happens next. So again, I feel like this book would have had more of an impact if they did it the way they're doing Division. The book ended. It's been a year. As a matter of fact, I believe God of War dropped around this time last year. This book would have had a bit more impact if we would have gotten this before the God of War game dropped. Not a whole year. And I believe there were delays. That's why we got this a whole year later. But not a whole year after the fact. I feel like at this point, it was a great series. The artwork was great. The story was great. But it would have made so much more of an impact if we would have read that before the game came out. We knew already what happened in the game. We already did our new game pluses on the game. And now the comic's out. It was cool that with the game we got the first issue. I did have the first issue. If you pre-ordered the collector's edition, you had the first issue digitally a whole year before the first issue dropped, which was around December, I believe. Issue 1 dropped because we're in February. January would have been 2. Yeah, December. But again, this was a 3-issue arc. You could have either done it as the game came out, or you could have done it a whole lot earlier than this. So it's kind of like a we dropped the ball thing, I feel, because it came out a bit late. But still, it was a great book, and if you're a fan of God of War, I would definitely recommend it.
This is my book of the week from Zenescope. I'm actually happy to see this book out. Robyn Hood Outlaw, issue number 1.
Kind of like Red Hood Outlaw, which also did come out this week.
Yep, that's true. And actually, I thought it was Ralph Tedesco, but actually the story is written by 2 people. It's by Dave Franchini and Howard Mackey. The Grimm universe was created by Joe Bruscia and Ralph Tedesco, right. So probably I read it wrong. But this book, it just opens up where basically where she goes into this abandoned warehouse, and I want to just remember this woman's name, Greenwich,
okay,
who was from the Grimm universe. I'm sure you're familiar with her. Where she's dying because of an arrow, but it wasn't by Robyn Hood, it was by someone else. So as the police come in, of course, there's some fishy about the policeman when Robyn Hood tries to fight them off. And now everyone's going against her because they feel with the arrow that Robyn has, they feel that she killed Greenwich, or accused of killing Greenwich because of the arrow. So now we have to find out who is behind all this, and she actually meets up with this boy, actually, who actually helps her out in this. So there might be a little bit of a, I would say maybe new love interest. I don't know, maybe because he's too young.
Looks like more of an ally.
Maybe, but the whole thing that happened, now they're going to be going against her because of the whole thing. But really, really awesome. That was definitely my book of the week.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 91. As Karai shows, Karai is the book opens up with Karai being
I was gonna look at
Kitsune going to Karai basically and telling her, you're back in New York, you need to take the Foot Clan back because Splinter's made the Foot Clan weak, and it's your legacy. I see you have the Sword of the Damned. You're damning your soul, yada yada. So this is your rightful. Basically, she's doing to Karai what she was doing to Shredder, but Shredder's gone now. For now, at least. We all know Shredder in Hell.
Yeah.
So she's trying to basically start trouble.
Who the hell is that?
That's somebody from a miniseries that joined Karai's little team. So Karai ends up showing up at the Foot Dojo, or the Foot Clan's place, and so do the Turtles, ironically, at the same time. They talk about the crossover. Again, this is why I always tell all of you, definitely check out all mini and maxi series. I know that the mini series that just came out, but the thick books that came out were about like $8 each. In my opinion, all 4 were worth it, and they also do have connections to the story. But anyway, so Karai's back, and she is back to, reclaim the Foot Clan, and you see that Splinter's kind of iffy about it at first. You see that, again, there are moments in the book where where either Leonardo or somebody else will reach out to Splinter and try to, remind him of who he was before being the leader of the Foot Clan. And you see that those father-son moments are coming, like he's kind of snapping out of being the leader of the Foot Clan and going back to being the Splinter we all know and love. But then something else happens. And again, it's Raphael fighting that thing that you saw. I forgot its name. But Raphael, they keep dropping hints that his anger is really, he has a lot of anger inside of him. I feel like at some point that Raphael might actually leave for a time, and this might
maybe
actually be a mini.
100.
I'm thinking so. We have 9 issues until 100. I feel like 100 is going to be huge. We all know that Karai is going to be returning as leader to the Foot Clan. As a matter of fact, the book ends with Splinter talking about the leader of the Foot Clan relinquishing the throne, and we don't know if he means him or if he means that Karai is completely going to give him control, and that's that. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, these next 9 issues. I will say that, going into issue 100. But I do feel like Raphael leaving for a time is definitely something that's going to happen. And also, Casey is getting very close with, I forgot the girl's name now, but the other girl, and I was hoping that Casey, I think Casey and April eventually will make up.
Soon?
No, not Kitsune. I forgot her name. But I feel like this is a love interest that something's going to happen, and obviously then Casey and April will start to mend because they broke up for reasons. We haven't seen a lot of April in a while. I'm hoping we get to see more April soon. I feel like they kind of, the past two
Well,
arcs.
she's kind of like a on and off character.
No, but I feel like she's a supporting character that needs to be in the book a little bit more. But it's nice to see Casey in the book. Hopefully we'll get April soon. I'm loving the Turtles. If you're loving TMNT, like if you're a huge fan of TMNT, you will be checking this out. And I'm excited for 100. I'm pumped already, and there's still 9 months to go.
All right, so we're in the big 2 books now. We have 3 from Marvel, which are all for me. So there's no Marvel,
no Marvel
for you this week. So
there'll be X-Men. See, the thing is, right now, all I'm reading from Marvel is X-Men, Uncanny.
Right.
I'm reading Friendly Neighborhood, Spiderman.
Oh, I thought we were both reading that.
We're both reading that. I'm behind on Amazing now by 2 issues.
Well, we have Amazing here, so you'll...
I know, I'm behind by 2 issues.
All right.
And I think that's it right now. Honestly, right. there may be. Oh, I casually read X-23, Miss Marvel. I read a lot of books that I don't review from Marvel off screen. So Marvel's more of my casual read, whereas DC is more. Well, some things are moving to a. We'll get to that with DC. But go ahead.
All right. So we're going to get into Marvel. I can't believe that we didn't mention this on Frontline Live, and I didn't read this until last second, actually. Savage Sword of Conan.
It's Marvel. It's Marvel. They got Conan the license, so they have 2 Conan.
I didn't know like this was out because we didn't talk about this on Frontline Live.
And you heard about Savage Avengers, right?
I heard about that,
Conan's going to be in it.
All right. So that's
Conan,
something.
Venom, Punisher, and... Oh, I forgot the other character.
Yeah, well, anyway, just to make this a long story short, it's basically Conan who is taken upon by pirates because he was found at sea. They take him in, and what he's looking for is some type of treasure on the pirate ship. I mean, kind of brings like a Sea of Thieves, if you look at it. But yeah, but he's just basically taken in by these pirates who want him killed because everybody wants to kill Conan. Because he's a barbarian, or Sumerian barbarian. And the artwork's really amazing. And the encounters that Conan goes through and how he gets out of it is just really epic. And then this vision that he sees from Chrome has to deal with fortune and death. Both of them. And destiny awaits for them as both him and this new friend of his that he's allying with continue on to see what this vision that he saw is all about.
I love this Amazing Spider-Man cover.
Yes, the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 15. So we get the whole thing where Spider-Man, he saves Aunt May from the whole restaurant thing because we all knew that happened. There's just one character that's drawing a blank to me. But I like how he takes care of Taskmaster as he's trying to save his Aunt May. And I like how he still plays that Spider-Man character because... You know, because Aunt May doesn't know that he's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So, you know, just letting you know, because some of the comics she does know or doesn't know, so I'm just letting them know that she doesn't know.
Yet.
Well, yeah, not yet. And then there's this whole thing where after he saves her, there's also the Lizard's son who feels like he's being crammed in because he can't hang out with his friends. And then all of a sudden he's like saying, oh, I think that I'm going to anyway, regardless of what my dad thinks. But I think Kraven might be behind this from what we said on Front Live because Kraven, along with Arcade, has Rhino kidnapped. And with all the mutants that he's getting kidnapped because Kraven's the hunter, I think the son might be the next victim in all this. So there could be a trap that the son got into. So that's going to be really something to see in the next issue of where this will lead off to. And finally for me, for Marvel... The Punisher, issue number 8. So, The Punisher, it's been going really good so far. It's part 3 of the war that's in Bagdalia. And it's still in the war cell where the Punisher and the Nun are working together. But the Punisher gets a whole bunch of the prison cell people to work with him to defeat Hydra by going into those hacking systems where they can give the Hydra gas when they're taking showers and whatnot. basically to give Hydra hell because of all that they've done with their prisoners and everything. And the prisoners get involved, lots of fires involved as well with gas and everything. And it's just said that the Punisher's saying the prison is ours. After the whole team up and everything from the prison cell people. So that was actually really good how he got them to work with him. And I think that they were part of the army or something. Well, one of them.
Okay.
I said some of them, maybe not all of them, because he was like saying, I don't know, the next person, and yeah.
All right, we're starting with Wonder Comics. We're in DC now. Now, this is what I was saying. DC, I noticed I'm reading more, but DC recently announced that they're going to be cutting back books. I don't know. I feel like when Dan Didio said that, he meant maybe the double-ups. I don't feel like they're going to be cutting down to, as a certain dumb website says, 22 books only. Yeah, I don't see anywhere near only 22 out of 52 where they started. Maybe about 40, maybe 45, but I don't see them dropping to 22 books. But I don't know. All that I want to make sure is that I get my Superman books. How could they be dropping when we just talked about Lois Lane and Jimmy getting an ongoing?
Talk to the DC creators.
Right, exactly.
So
we're in Wonder Comics, and not to mention Bendis alone has 10 books.
Yeah.
Wonder Comics, Wonder Twins miniseries.
Wonder Twin powers? Activate?
So
I had to.
Jan and Jace are on Earth. Apparently they are, we get a little background about their planet and whatnot through Jace. Jan is, it opens up with Jan being a school announcer. So Superman brings them to Earth because because of their condition where they have the Wonder Twin powers.
So there was no shape of a shark or a water.
They
did do that.
So
I gotta see that.
Jace can only turn into water, and Jan can only do animals. And I love how they made Wonder Woman
only water. That sucks.
Yeah, that's what Wonder Woman said. That's kind of underwhelming. You're actually on the page where Wonder Woman said that's underwhelming. I love how they made Batman like. Not jerky, but it's Batman. Wonder Woman's more comedic, but I like the personality they gave her here. And Superman's the one that brought them to Earth, like I said, because the father said they won't. They'll always be looked at. They'll be shunned by the society because of their powers. So, the Justice League is dealing with Mxyzptlk. You see them dealing with school. And there's apparently the one thing they added was Thunderlust. When there's a thunderstorm, apparently, and I could be wrong. This could have been something from the past.
Mxyzptlk's in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
When there's a thunderstorm, their people kind of go into a sex frenzy. So Jace, I guess, becomes a man because his first thunderstorm ever, where he actually starts to feel it, and they start making fun of him at school. And I like how Batman and Superman share their school experiences, and Superman's like, school is just. It's a litter ground, or Batman's the one that says it's a litter ground of embarrassment and whatnot. And not to worry about. I really enjoy it. And then Mxyzptlk shows up, and in 2 seconds, Jan just sends him back to the fifth dimension.
Yeah, I don't think we need his.
It was so funny. I'm sad this is a miniseries, but it's good because when it's all said and done, I'll be able to pick up the trade, and I'll have the whole Wonder Twins trade. I feel like if it does good, though, we might get another volume of the Wonder Twins. I hope we get to see the Wonder Twins. I mean, if they're going for the Super Friends feel. After Scott Snyder's done with his dialogue-heavy Justice League series, maybe they'll join the Justice League.
We'll get to that.
Or maybe they'll join. I'll be okay with them joining Young Justice. We don't need this Teen Lantern and Ginny, Hex, and Amethyst. You take the three of them out, put the Wonder Twins in, maybe Spoiler. That'll make Cat happy. Well, Spoiler might not be a good idea for I don't know. Maybe keep one of the three of them in, and I don't see a real need for Teen Lantern. I feel like it's just an excuse to create A, a new character, and B, a parallel to Green Lantern for Young Justice, which Young Justice never had to be a parallel to the Justice League. So I don't know.
Red Hood Outlaw, issue number 31. I thought this comic was actually pretty good. Some people really didn't like this issue because it was a little bit all over the place, but because of the whole, I can't get his name, the one with the three faces, if I hear it, I might, well, anyway, he says, like, he's the father of, Jason Todd, and they have, like, this whole back and forth conversation where, they're, arguing with each other, and then Red Hood fights off against Batwing, I think it is, yeah, and they have, like, this fight against each other, and just to make this like short, at the end of the issue, finally Jason Todd says that he will go to Gotham. It's like all this time, he's finally going to go back to Gotham. And hopefully for good reason, because of all this stuff that's been happening. He finally made that decision to go back. I am done with this issue. Justice League Dark issue number 8. That's right, you heard me right. Justice League Dark. I can't with this book. This book, I don't even want to discuss about it because it is so dialogue heavy, and it talks about this magic stuff that nobody probably even wants to read about.
Well, some people might.
Some people might, but look, I just want to show you an example. Like, look at this. It's all about Zatanna and Wonder Woman going against this Etrigan, I think it is. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Swamp Thing going up against Etrigan. And then you have Zatanna and Wonder Woman coming up with some magic spells or whatever that can make things... It is too much.
I don't think Wonder Woman fits with Justice
But
League Dark.
it's too much. And then the whole thing with Dr. Fate with these Lords of Order or whatever it is that you might be familiar with. I don't know who they are. I can't with this book. Too much. It's not the Justice League Dark that I once read before. It's just not the same. It's just too much, so I'm getting rid of it.
And it's kind of ironic. Mike mentions Etrigan in the book. In Batman Detective Comics 998, 2 away from 1,000, Etrigan's actually in this book. So Batman fights Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange has nothing to do with anything. And then it turns out that Etrigan is being attacked and reaches out to Batman for help. Batman helps Etrigan and now wants more hints towards, who is targeting him after he helps Etrigan. And it leads him somewhere, but at this point, I don't know. It was a strong start leading up to 1,000, but I really feel like this arc is kind of starting to sway out from me. This was my weakest book this week as far as all the books I read, and I don't know who that is, but it looks like somebody's looking to.
Well, it's not Damian.
No, I don't think it's Damian. So somebody's taking it to Batman hard. But again, I feel like this was my weakest book this week. Hopefully Detective Comics will pick up. There's only 2 more issues until 1,000. So we'll see after 1,000 if Detective Comics... Well, obviously I'll do the next arc after 1,000. But we'll see if Detective Comics survives, after 1,000. If it's going to remain on the review list for me.
This I got to hear about.
Superman number 8, more stories of John being with the father. There was always a problem. There was always something that needed to be done. And while I love how in the middle of the book there's a cut where they're scanning John to make sure he's really John, and Superman one punches Mongol and knocks him out, and that's it. Mongol invades Earth, and Superman's like, boom. It's over.
I saw that.
It's over. Back to the fortress. It's confirmed that it's John, and we get more story where John met up with the Green Lantern Corps at one time. Everybody's afraid of Jor-El. So apparently the whole universe knows Jor-El's alive. John contemplates...
What?
John contemplates running away from the grandfather and going back to Earth. However, they get sucked into a black hole and end up on, I believe, the Crime Syndicate universe.
Now, whoa. I thought these guys were erased from history.
After Rebirth, we don't know if Forever Evil's events were undone or if this is a different Justice.
No.
Remember, the Crime Syndicate supersedes many Earths, possibly, so this could just be another Crime Syndicate.
Again,
we saw them in the holiday special. I mentioned this before, that we saw them in the holiday special.
Yeah, but we thought they were erased from the universe completely. Not because of Forever Evil, just completely. From the universe.
No.
All right.
And you never will. Not the Crime Syndicate. The Flash 64. Why am I reviewing the Flash 64? Because it's the big crossover between Flash and Batman. 2 more issues. 1 more from Batman, 1 more from Flash. So, they're going after Gotham Girl. They get to her... We get a little backstory on how somebody reached out to Gotham Girl after her father died, and Batman, in her mind, abandoned her. You got Flash and Batman working together to get more info on the Flash Museum attack. They go to, long story there was a really funny scene with Iris, by the way. They go to Gotham Girl's place, and obviously, she's obsessed with the superheroes and whatnot. and they find a lab where she's trying to recreate, where she's trying to bring her brother back using venom and whatnot. And I love how after all this, Flash sees a mask and he's like, did Gotham Girl go to Sanctuary? And again, this connects back to not Forever Evil, Heroes in Crisis. And Batman's like, the mask was obviously placed here for us to argue. I didn't, obviously it's not true. And that's when Gotham Girl shows up and activates all of the clones, I'll call them, and they attack Batman and Flash to be continued. I'm interested to see how this crossover plays out. Not as strong as the Button, though, in my opinion, but it's a pretty strong. I think this is more strong siding towards the Batman side, because this is obviously developing more with Bane in the background of Batman, but it still connects with Flash because of Forever Evil. Why do I keep saying Forever Evil? Because of Heroes in Crisis, because of the loss of Wally. But I think we're going to have Wally back by the middle to end of this year. Don't quote me, but I'm just predicting. But with that, that's it for this review, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed. As always, don't forget to check out all of our social media and everything else that we're doing. Now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments below. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. We'd love to hear from all of you out there. Until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you really soon in the next episode.
Hey, everybody.